Dawson Rider with you.
Hey YouTube, Dawson Rider here with my review of this really sad toy, aka the Power Rangers Super Ninja Steel Lunar Rover. I know, right? Like, okay, so I always like to at least take a look at the bike figures every year, mainly so I can complain about how bad the bike figures are done. Like, the fandom likes to go on and on about, oh, the legacy figures, and, oh, they forgot this one red paint strip on the Zord, so it's trash compared to the godly Sentai. But I think Bandai of America's worst crime is actually these bike figures. Like, I guess I'm part of the problem because I pick them up every year out of curiosity and to take a look at them for review, but how are they still getting away with this? Like, I can't even think of another toy company like that. That's so bad the camera didn't even want to focus on it. That we'll have a bike figure or a figure that comes with a vehicle that's basically the prototype from the factory. Like, this is awful. There's actually kind of something neat about the way this silver looks here in this helmet, but that doesn't mean like, oh, this is redeeming. It just, the way that looks actually is kind of neat, and I think it would have been made into something. But yeah, you get this unpainted figure. It's got a little bit of articulation so it can work. He's got these permanently bent knees though. They kind of fixed one of the problems a while ago, which was that they didn't have articulated figures, but they were still crappy. But now you have back to this weird thing. And it's just inexcusable. And the only sort of argument I got against that was last year or the year before, someone said like, well, they're not going to want to give you the full-on 5-inch figure because then you wouldn't buy it. So I guess that's kind of true, because like when I was little, or younger, I don't know if it was little, but anyway, regardless, like for Lightspeed Rescue, I bought mainly the Cycles, which had basically the same figure with it. But then basically, then if that's the issue, which is probably their budget issues, which is also stupid because other companies are doing more. But anyway, but if that's what's doing it, if Bandai's like, I want to be able to sell the 5-inch figures, so we're going to put this with it, then why not do what they did in Dino Thunder and SPD, Ninja Storm, and make the figures different? Like, they basically had a sort of 5-inch figure that had these like little arm pieces coming off of it, and just they were different figures basically. They weren't from the show, but that's fine. You still got a perfectly decent figure with your bike. So yeah, we'll take a look at him on the bike in a second. We already got that. But so, setting aside that usual yearly rant, why a Lunar Rover? Like, I get it, Ninja is random as is, for sure. Yes, it is random, but, like, a Lunar Rover? Why? Like, and it's so generic, like, look, there's a PR logo on there for the button, but it's so generic, and they're basically trying to carry over the gimmick from last year, which is, you know, it's sort of like a Ninja Star, and then you pop it, and boom, it's a Lunar Rover. That pause was on purpose. Like, that's not exciting. Like, just, like, I'll admit, last year's I thought actually had something neat because they folded out into like a Ninja Star and then popped into a Cycle, which I thought was fun toy-wise, and then they wound up using it in the show. So that was neat, but this is a really lame use of that gimmick. Also, I'm not going to bother really showing it because it doesn't look that different, but right here you can put it on the Megazord like all the other ones. But yeah, it's a lame Lunar Rover, and its popping up gimmick is basically popping up its car doors. And just, wow. I definitely don't recommend checking this one out. I don't think I've ever really fully recommended the Cycles, but at least last year's were kind of fun in terms of the cycle and were used in the show. But I think this is probably the lowest they've ever gotten in terms of Cycle figures. The figures have always been the lowest, but in terms of creative design of the actual vehicle, and you can even see the barcode right there. So 0 out of 10, would not recommend. Anyway, until next time, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. It's Dawson Rider, signing out.